Assalamu alaikum. A World Without Islam by Graham Fuller. What would the world today be like if Islam never existed? Would there be fewer conflicts? Would the Middle East be peaceful? The author argues that many confrontations between East and West are due to geopolitical factors that predates Islam and continues with and around Islam. It is the geopolitical factor that plays a dominant role regardless of religion. Most people are ignorant of the history of Western intervention in the region over centuries. With over 700 military bases abroad, the US prides itself as being the only global superpower. The Pentagon is well aware of its role as the domination force that charts the course of world events. When the US doesn't like a foreign adversary, she denigrates them using strong, apocalyptic terms. It is imperative to demonize the enemy to justify an intervention or war in a foreign country. It is done so that public opinion, Americans in particular, would support the blood price to go to war. The message must be simply enough to fit on a bumper sticker, which at the moment is Islam. The West versus East confrontation did not start with 9/11. US dealings and meddling in the Middle East can be traced back a few decades. The 9/11 attack was a culmination of a preceding chain of events over many years. This book examines how the relations between the West and the Middle East would be if Islam never existed. It explores the continuing trajectory of East-West relations to the extent that those relations have severely deteriorated. The author argues that Islam is not the primal or even secondary causal factor. On the contrary, there are many alternative forces affecting the East-West relation. A map of religions in the Middle East before Islam shows a world dominated by Eastern Orthodox Christianity. There was the monotheistic Zoroastrianism in Persia, with small pockets of Jews in a few urban areas. Europe at the time was part Christian, part pagan. Islam was a latecomer, but spread quickly to become dominant in the region. Without Islam, it is likely that Eastern Orthodox Christianity would remain the dominant faith in the Middle East. Relations between Orthodoxy and Catholicism have ranged between suspicious and toxic for nearly 2 millennia, despite many shared classical traditions. Therefore, it is plausible that without Islam, Orthodox Christianity today could have served as a religious and ideological scapegoat for the confrontation between the West and the Middle East. There are striking resemblances about the conflicts between Orthodoxy and Catholicism on the one hand and between Christianity and Islam on the other. The Abrahamic faith, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are closely linked regardless of their political differences over time. Unfortunately, politics and power struggles often only magnify theological differences rather than stressing common heritage. Political tensions that precede Islam persist even after Islam. If Islam never existed, some other bogeyman would have been invented to justify the East-West confrontation. The author worked for CIA for 20 years. The arguments he presents are thought-provoking. I recommend that you read this book along with Islamophobia and the Politics of Empire by Deepa Kumar to obtain a clearer, bigger picture. More information is in the description.